I keep reaching for your hand in the dark, but every time it slips through my fingers like a fading dream. This frustration is the silent language. My heart speaks when love is present, but unreachable. I live in the space between hope and heartbreak, where love's fire both warms and burns me. The cruelest thing about wanting you is how it leaves me frozen, unable to move forward or back. Every unanswered message is a small wound, adding to the ache that love left unspoken creates. I'm drowning in a sea of what ifs, wondering if you ever feel the same desperate pull. Sometimes, love is the weight that crushes the soul more than any pain we've known before. I wear my frustration like a cloak, heavy, suffocating, but strangely familiar. There is a part of me that hopes against all reason, praying your heart still beats for me, somewhere. Romantic frustration isn't just waiting. It's the torment of loving someone who can't or won't love you back. I'm haunted by the memory of what we never became, a ghost love story left unfinished. My heart is a battlefield where hope fights despair, and every day feels like losing the war. You are the echo in my soul I can't silence, no matter how hard I try to forget. This ache inside me is a constant reminder that some loves are meant to be felt, not held. I carry the weight of unspoken dreams, heavy enough to break me, but light enough to survive. Frustration whispers in the quiet moments when I'm alone, reminding me of love that slipped away. I'm trapped in a love that's one-sided. Allow me dance where only my heart follows the beat. Love's most painful lesson is learning to want someone who walks away without looking back. I long for your presence in a way that words can't describe, a silence louder than any noise. If love could be a bridge, mine would be burned to ashes between us, hopeless to cross. My heart is a prisoner to a love that's distant, unreachable, and painfully silent. The frustration of love is like a fire that burns slowly, leaving scars no one else can see. I hold on to memories like fragile glass, beautiful but sharp enough to cut deep when touched. This longing is a storm raging quietly inside me, invisible but all-consuming. I'm waiting for you in a place where time stands still and hope feels like a cruel joke. Love is supposed to lift us up, but this frustration drags me down into a sea of doubt. I wish I could scream my love to the stars, but all that escapes is a whispered sigh. Romantic frustration is the silent tear that falls when no one's watching, unseen but deeply felt. Every heartbeat echoes your name, even though your absence is the loudest sound I know. I ache for a love that feels like home, but instead find myself lost in endless wandering. The distance between us isn't measured in miles, but in moments we never shared. I'm caught in the web of loving you, entangled, helpless, and unable to break free. This frustration is the pain of loving someone whose heart is a locked door with no key. I keep holding on to hope like it's a lifeline, even when the tides of reality pull me under. Love's cruel irony is how it can bind us to someone who feels like a stranger. My soul aches with the silent plea for your love, a prayer unanswered in the vastness of night. I wish I could rewrite the ending, but this story feels like a wound that refuses to heal. Some kinds love is a beautiful pain, and I'm learning to live with the ache of missing you. I'm caught between the memory of your touch and the reality of your absence, forever torn. This frustration isn't anger. It's the quiet longing that consumes every corner of my being. I'm holding on to a love that's slipping through my fingers like grains of sand in the wind. I achieve for a love that's pure and true, but frustration whispers it's not meant for me. Every moment without you feels like a chapter missing from the story of my life. Romantic frustration is a slow burn. Painful. I'm lost in the maze of loving you, with no clear path to escape this ache. This silence between us is louder than any confession could ever be. I'm yearning for a love that feels like a warm embrace, not this cold distance. Frustration is the ache in my chest when I see you smile, but no, it's not for me. Love's greatest sadness is wanting someone who's already gone, even if they never left. Desperate for even the smallest sign of you, I watch from afar, longing for love that feels like a gentle touch but remains painfully out of reach. The ache of loving you quietly breaks me every day, yet I wear it like a secret badge of honor. Romantic frustration is the silent storm inside me, raging while the world around me remains unaware. This kind of love feels like chasing shadows, beautiful but always slipping just beyond my grasp. I'm lost between the hope that you'll come back and the fear that you never truly cared. The weight of unspoken love presses down on me, heavy enough to bend my spirit but not break it. I carry your memory like a fragile flame, afraid to let it go, yet scared it will burn me. Frustration in love is a quiet ache that lives in the spaces where words failed to reach. I am a prisoner to the longing in my heart, waiting for a love that might never arrive. Every day, without you, is a page torn from the book of my heart, lost and unread. I wish I could tell you how deeply I'm hurting, but my silence only feeds the frustration inside. Love can be a beautiful prison, and I'm locked inside by my own hope and despair. The hardest part is loving someone who's a stranger now, even though once they were my whole world. I ache for the warmth of your presence, but all I have is the cold shadow of your absence. Frustration is the echo of a heart that beats louder in silence than it ever did in words. I'm drowning in the memories of a love that should have been, but never was fully mine. Sometimes love feels like a distant star, bright, beautiful, but impossible to reach. I'm caught. The speck of wanting you without knowing if you want me to. Unraveling of a soul bound to unreturned love. The distance between us isn't just physical. It's the gap where love once lived. But now only pain remains. I keep holding on to hope, even when it feels like the last thing keeping me from falling apart. Romantic frustration is the ache of loving in the shadows, unseen and unheard by the one I want most. I'm lost in a maze of feelings, where every path leads back to the same place, wanting you. The silence between us as wish I could understand, but only feel deep in my bones. I wish love was easier to hold on to, but sometimes it slips away like grains of sand through my fingers. Frustration is the heavy cloak I wear when love promises warmth, but delivers cold distance. I am trapped between the memory of your smile and the reality of your absence, both cutting deep. Every unanswered call, every missed chance, adds another layer to this wall between our hearts. This kind of love is a quiet battle, fought with hope as the only weapon left in my hands. I ache for a love that feels like home, but all I know is this restless wandering in the dark. The romantic frustration is the silent tear. I'm caught in the painful space where love once lived, now filled only with echoes and shadows. The ache of wanting you is like a wound that refuses to heal, no matter how much time passes. I carry this love like a secret flame, burn quietly but fiercely inside my chest. Sometimes the most painful love is the one you never had the chance to hold. I'm waiting for a sign, a word, anything to tell me that you feel even a fraction of this. The frustration of loving you in silence is a slow burn that consumes every hopeful thought. I'm lost in the spaces between what we were and what we could never be together. Love feels like a puzzle with pieces missing. Incomplete without you. I wish I could tell you how much this silent longing tears me apart every single day. The hardest love is the one you hold in your heart, but can never bring into the light. I am a wanderer in the desert of your absence, thirsty for a love that might never return. Romantic frustration is the quiet ache that lives in the spaces. I'm tethered to the hope of you, even as the weight of silence pulls me further away. This love feels like a fire that both warms and burns, leaving scars I hide from the world. I itch for the comfort of your presence, but find only the cold emptiness of waiting. Frustration is the shadow cast by love when it's bright, but just out of reach. I'm caught in the stillness of longing, where every heartbeat echoes your name in the silence. Love's greatest pain is the distance that grows not just between bodies, but between hearts. Only exists in my dreams, fragile and fleeting. Right now, my heart is breaking in silence, longing for a love that feels so close, yet impossibly distant. Every second without you feels like a lifetime of frustration, trapped in a love that's never fully mine. I am suffocating in the space between us, where words fail and longing grows louder than ever. If only I ache for you, how this quiet torment consumes every breath I take. This kind of romantic frustration is like drowning in a sea of hope, knowing rescue will never come. I carry this love quietly in my chest, burning with desire and regret, never spoken but always felt. Frustration isn't just anger. It's the aching silence when your heart refuses to forget what never was. How cruel it is to want someone so much and yet be locked out of their world by invisible walls. I'm tethered to memories of what could have been, paralyzed by the love that never found its voice. Love is supposed to heal, but this waiting is a wound that only deepens with every passing day. I've become a prisoner of my own feelings, trapped in a loop where hope and despair collide endlessly. The hardest part of love isn't losing it. It's holding on when you know it may never be yours. My heart beats a lonely rhythm, desperate for connection, but chained by circumstances I cannot change. There is a certain ache in romantic frustration, a silent scream of wanting more but receiving less. Sometimes love feels like an unfinished story. This longing burns like wildfire in my soul, consuming all my peace and leaving only desire in its wake. I dream of a time when our hearts might finally speak the language they've been hiding all along. Romantic frustration is the weight of unspoken words, the sadness of moments we never shared. Each day without you feels like a puzzle missing its most important piece. My heart left incomplete. I'm drowning in a sea of emotions, hoping to find shore in your arms, yet always drifting away. Love is not just a feeling. It's the torment of waiting for someone who doesn't know you exist. The silence between us is louder than any confession. It's a cast carved by fear and hesitation. This frustration is not bitterness. It's the desperate hope that someday, somehow, you'll notice me. I itch not for possession but for the simple joy of being seen, understood, and cherished by you. Love's cruelest game is wanting someone who's just out of reach, like a star you can never touch. In the quiet of night, my heart screams for you, unheard and unanswered, lost in frustration's grip. The pain of romantic frustration is a shadow that follows every hopeful step I try to take. I'm waiting in the spaces where your absence echoes, where love feels like a distant dream. There's a hollow in my soul shaped perfectly like you, aching to be filled but forever empty. Romantic frustration isn't just loneliness. It's the sorrow of wanting a love that might never be. I carry the weight of unsaid words like a secret tattoo etched deep into my heart. Sometimes love is the fire that warms us, but sometimes it's the cold that leaves us shivering alone. I wish I could tell you all the ways my heart breaks quietly for you every single day. Frustration feels like holding on to a ghost, visible only to me, haunting every corner of my mind. My soul aches with the longing for a love that dances just beyond my fingertips. Is how it can feel so close yet be forever out of reach. I'm wrapped in the bittersweet chains of desire, hoping for a love that's both real and imagined. The deepest romantic frustration is wanting to scream your love into the void, but only hearing silence. Every heartbeat is a silent prayer for you to see me, to want me back like I want you now. I'm a prisoner of hope, chained to the idea of you, even though freedom would mean letting go. Romantic frustration is the quiet heartbreak that lives in the spaces between what was and what could be. I'm living in the shadows of a love story that's never been told, yearning for a happy ending. The silence of your absence speaks louder than any words we ever shared. Frustration with love is the ache of knowing what your heart wants, but fearing it may never come. Waiting only wounds me deeper every single day.